Hi, I'm Trevor Junt reporting from GESA Field, where WSU just lost a hard-fought game against BYU. This is interim head coach Jake Dickert's first game as head coach, and they just couldn't pull it off, losing 19-21.
This was the first game for Benny today. New quarterbacks coach Dan Morrison, new O-line coach Dennis McKnight, and most importantly, new interim head coach Jake Dickert. Coming into the game, all the WSU players surely had tons of adrenaline due to the news stories about firing Nick Rolovich and hiring interim head coach Jake Dickert. They started off hot. On their first drive, it was long and methodical, finally scoring on a short run by Max Borky. BYU immediately struck back on the next drive, scoring on a 3-yard run by Lopini Katoa. Then, it was quite a rough time for both squads. It was truly a battle of field position. An interception on the next drive was thrown by Delora to BYU free safety Malik Moore. This was after 2 unsuccessful deep shots on the same drive. For some reason, Delora and the offensive coordinator decided to keep pushing the ball down the field. Delora made a bad decision and let a deep pass rip, overthrowing Donovan Ollie by quite a bit and leading to the pick. After the interception, however, the circus music began. There were punts by both teams, a missed field goal by BYU, a punt by WSU, a turnover on downs by BYU, and a punt again by both teams. Finally, I kneeled down to end the half. That was 9 straight unsuccessful drives. We went into halftime at 7-7. Once halftime ended, BYU came out firing, with 6 straight completions by Jaron Hall, complemented by a 21-yard run by Tyler Algier. They scored to make it 14-7. Speaking on Tyler Algier for a moment, he had 32 carries for 191 yards and 2 touchdowns. Let me make this clear and repeat this one more time. He had 32 carries for 191 and 2 touchdowns. That's a wild day. The Cougs, the WSU Cougars, if you catch my drift, answered back on the next drive, again looking methodical and driving down the field. They scored on a 1-yard Max Borgy run. Borgy finished the day with 3 touchdowns. They were about to tie it up until there was a muff snap on the extra point. This led to Nick Haber scrambling around and throwing an incomplete pass into the end zone. This kept WSU behind 13-14 and ended up being their downfall in the game. BYU then ran the ball down WSU's throat, rushing for 59 yards on the ensuing drive and scoring on a short yardage run by the man who was on a whole different planet on Saturday, Tyler Algier, making it 21-13. WSU then failed on the next drive due to a holding penalty that put them back into a 2nd and long and 3rd and long situation. But on the drive after that, when the Cougars had the ball, this time, the BYU Cougars, WSU was able to keep them only to a drive of 5 yards, forcing them to punt on a very important stop. On the day, Jahad Woods had 16 total tackles, and George Hicks III with 10. WSU went on a well-led drive by Jaden Delora and were able to score on Max Borgy's 3rd touchdown of the game, making it 19-21. Because of the missed extra point earlier, they were down 19-21. They were forced to go for 2, but it was an ugly trick play where Lincoln Victor, the wide receiver, attempted a pass to a well-covered Travell Harris. It fell incomplete. BYU were then able to do what they did all day, run the ball. And run the ball they did, converting on 3 first downs and running out the clock, ending the game victorious at 21-19. Even though this was a tough loss and a tight game for WSU, I believe this was a start to a new era, the Jake Dickert era. You can't expect a guy to come out and beat a very good BYU team in his first week as head coach when he was told he was head coach on Monday. I think he showed good leadership. He coached well, the team played well, and they rallied around him.
WSU faces the Arizona State Sun Devils next week, and it'll be challenging going into the heat and to the desert. I'm Trevor Junt, Unorthodox Sports.